Hello, fellas and ladies. It is time to review Elvis. Elvis is a movie about Elvis Presley, who I guess is like a singer or something. This is basically a biopic about. It's not very clear what aspect of Elvis's life this is like focused on. It's a movie about Elvis, basically, and also his relationship with Colonel Tom Parker, I think is what his name was. Yeah, Elvis is a zoinkers. I don't know. I listen. This is a movie that kind of. I feel like your enjoyment of this movie could depend on how you feel about Baz Luhrmann's style. I know some people are going to be like, "It's Baz. We give him a pass." It's like, well, I'm not. I don't think he should get a pass just because he's eccentric. So I criticizing this movie. I think its style does not like it's very Baz. It's very Baz. Like it's so fucking weird. And I don't think it meshes with like this formulaic ass plot. I mean, it's kind of what you assumed it was. It's literally just it's very formulaic biopic. Apparently, every single musician in history had the exact same origin story. It's literally just Walk Hard, the Elvis Presley story, written and directed by Baz Luhrmann. Okay, I will say Austin Butler, bro. Yeah, he's fit. He's fit for the king. He is. He genuinely is. He's great in this movie. Like, not even like just like the Elvis of it all. For one, he fucking nails the voice. It's scary. I mean, to the point where now he just does the Elvis voice normally. I met him yesterday at the screening, and he still does the Elvis voice. It's a little sad, actually. But but yeah, he's really good, not just on stage, but also just the emotional beats that he goes through. It's very, very impressive. It's a star-making performance by this fucking guy. And you know what? Look, this movie's gonna be divisive. I can already tell. I think this is one of those aspects that everyone's gonna agree on, that Butler is tremendous. Now, Tom Hanks, on the other hand, note it is, I don't necessarily think Tom Hanks was bad. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily think he gave a bad performance. I just think he's distracting as fuck, because he has this Dutch accent. He's layered in prosthetics, but he still looks like Tom Hanks. It's kind of like when the genie played by Will Smith happened. It's like it's not bad. It's distracting because he's Will Smith. It feels the same way here, and also it's just not one of his best performances. Also, and while Butler's rightfully going to get praised to oblivion, and Tom Hanks is rightfully going to get panned to oblivion, I do want to give a shout out to Olivia DeJonge, who I also met at the premiere yesterday. And she was very, very good as Priscilla Presley, as she is going to be a very underappreciated aspect of this film. And she's fantastic. Honestly, the film in general, like there were concert scenes that were actually really, really great and like kind of like, oh, this is sick. And I don't know if that's Butler or if that's Baz, but either way, I liked it. I don't care. But overall, the movie is like, I think this movie is bad. I do think this movie is bad movie. And I should also clarify, I kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody. This isn't me going like, oh, it's formulaic. But I mean, I already said that his style doesn't mesh with the formulaic plot. But honestly, the film just feels so unfocused. Like, it's just so like all over the place. Like, yes, it's about Elvis Presley, but now every now and then it's primarily focused on Colonel Tom Parker. It's like, what the fuck? It's all over the place. It's like, oh, is Tom Hanks the lead of this? Is Austin Butler the lead of this? It's mainly Butler, but like it feels like Tom Hanks the lead of this for like a good chunk of the film, and then he's just not anymore. It's weird. And the movie just juggles 100 different things. Like what, like it's like this whole aspect of Elvis is like, activism. Like he has like this protest song, whatever, and then it just gets dumped, just never spoken of again. Just another hour and a half left. Like this big portion of the film just dumped, just never to be heard of. It's weird. And also like the whole like, listen, I wasn't there when I wasn't alive when Elvis was alive. He passed away decades before I was even born. I'm just going to go off on a limb here and say that Elvis performing didn't make every single woman just have an orgasm in the audience. Well, because of his little wiggles. Is this turning ladies on? Is this all I got to do? Apparently, according to Elvis, the film, this video might get demonetized now because of too sexiness. But yeah, no, film just feels super unfocused, and it's like 80 different things happening in 1 minute, and it's that for 2 hours and 40 fucking minutes. Sorry to report, you feel that length. You really, really feel that length. And it is just, it's rough. Yeah, I checked my phone a couple times. I wouldn't say it's boring because it's not boring because of the baz of it all, but it's just like, it's boring while also not being boring at the same time, if that makes any sense at all. This movie's not my cup of tea. I gotta be honest. I just thought this film was super unfocused and super all over the place. Butler, I love you, bro. You're awesome. But this ain't it. So let's get to the Oscars. Elephant in the room. So I'll start with the positives in terms of Oscars. Butler, I can see him getting in just as easily as I can see him missing. But I think no matter what happens, we are going to be talking about this fucking guy come award season. I mean, he's kind of a lock for SAG. SAG just kind of does that. Well, will he get the Oscar nomination? I'm leaning towards yes at the moment. Like, I think we can all agree that the pros are him getting nominated. Even if you haven't seen the movie, it's pretty obvious. And the movie kind of just confirms whatever suspicions you're having. You know what I mean? I guess the biggest thing is, he's a no name. And also, he's not like the direct lead. Him and Tom Hanks are kind of him more so, but like they're kind of duking it out. And the film's kind of told through Tom Hanks' perspective, which I don't really understand why they did that. It just made the film even more unfocused. All right, back to trophies. But is Tom Hanks getting nominated? I'm going to say no. I think it's not wise. I don't think it's wise for people to hope predict. But I also think when people just kind of predict pessimistically, just be like, the Academy isn't cool enough to not nominate this. It's just like, well, that we're getting to what where like just doesn't happen anymore. Look at Leto. I think Tom Hanks is literally Jared Leto. I think, except I don't think Tom Hanks is going to get nominated for this movie. I think all the attention will be, at least above the line, all the awards attention will go directly to Butler. Rightfully so too. I think below the line, Catherine Martin, she gets nominated for costume production design constantly. She won for The Great Gatsby. So yeah, when her and Baz work together, she gets nominated. But I think that's less because like they love Catherine Martin, more so just the work she does is super out there, which is why because of that, I do think it's getting nominated for costumes. I think I understand the difference, but like, Rocket Man, Judy, and a Bohemian Rhapsody, they missed, but I think this is a lot flashier than those. I think, this actually will get a costume design nomination as well as a makeup nomination. It's very prosthetic-y. It's very like, those never miss. That's the thing. Those like obvious prosthetic-y ones, they don't miss. And Tom Hanks, but also Butler, it's got some like cheeks as he goes older. Kind of drop the ball. I'm not gonna lie. Production design, like I said, I don't really think Catherine Martin gets nominated constantly because they like her. More so, it's her work is just so flashy, and I don't think that's the case here. Like, it could get a production design nod. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's a guarantee. I really don't. And do I think it's getting a Best Picture nod? Fuck no way. No, I just no. It could. And listen, I understand that it could make money. I've thought about that. Don't get me wrong. And if it like crushes at the box office, I might reconsider. But like, I don't think this is Bohemian Rhapsody. I think the Bohemian Rhapsody comparisons, they make sense until you actually see it. Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh, it's formulaic, but Bohemian Rhapsody is formulaic. That got in. It's like, well, yes, Bohemian Rhapsody is definitely formulaic and beat by beat, but that's not why it got in. Why would a negative thing be the reason it got in? Bohemian Rhapsody got in because it was this roaring, like, massive crowd pleaser. And I'm not saying audiences are going to dislike Elvis. I think they are actually going to like Elvis. I just don't think it's like a big feel good, like a victorious crowd pleaser that Bohemian Rhapsody was. You know what I mean? And like the only thing is that, like, if Warner Brothers got to get something in. They always do, at least one thing in picture. And if Don't Worry Darling doesn't pan out, then I guess I'll come back to Elvis. But in that case, I think they just go Batman, because I still think if they go all out on Batman, that can get in. I firmly believe it, even if I don't think that's what they're going to do. But yeah, anyway, Butler, he can easily get in. Do not underestimate him at all. He could, without question, be Taron Egerton. But like, he could also not be. He's not winning, though. Fuck you. He's not winning. So anyway, Elvis, not for me. I didn't like it. If you're a Baz guy, you know what? Go check it out. You know what I mean? Like, don't let me tell you not to see it. This is just what I think of the film, which in that case, what makes this channel, what's the point? Forget what I just said. If I say don't fucking watch it because I don't like it. Nah, I'm kidding. Go watch it. Go get your own opinion on the film. But I don't think Baz's style, which I'm not a fan of in the first place, I respect it, but I don't really like it. I don't think it meshes with the formula plot. I think it's way too long and it's super all over the place and unfocused. But Butler is awesome. I'm gonna give it like a 5.5 out of 10. I think I like that. I'm gonna go there. All right. That's it. That's the end of the review. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, please. Please. I want the subscribers. I gotta go. Creepy ass Tom Hanks is outside. He's ready to bite me. Bye-bye.